Good morning, students. Now in the previous chapter, like there is a chapter 1 itself, we were studying about the components of motherboard. Okay. So we have discussed that the various components of motherboards are processors, that is CPU, BIOS, CMOS, slots, disk controllers, input output ports and interfaces, then bus. So this is a layout of a motherboard. So these are all the different components of the motherboard which is listed there, okay, in the picture. Okay. Now first one is component is a processor, which is also called as CPU. Now what is this processor? Actually a processor is a main component on the motherboard. So without processor the system does not work. So it is a main component on the motherboard and we call it as the brain of the computer, because this is one component which does the processing task of the instructions or the programs or the commands which is given by the user. This processor, we call it as a CPU also. It consists of three different parts in that. The first one is ALU, the second one is CU and the third is a registers. So ALU is arithmetic and logic unit. So what does it do? It performs all the arithmetics. When I say arithmetics, it's all mathematical calculation like addition, subtractions, divisions, etc. And logic operations on the data, certain logic operations like true or false, and, or, gate, not gate, and this is related to something like hardware. So when you do something on activities, it is a true, off means it is a false. So these are all the logic operations on the data. And you know that this is every electronic devices has a circuit installed in it. So if I take an example of a TV or a fan or any electronic machines, there is some logic operations like on, off, like fan, switching on the fan, switching off the fan. So like TV, on, off. So these are all the logic operations which is performed on that particular electronic devices. Okay. Next is a CU, that is called control unit, which controls the processing of the data as well as instructions. So it is responsible for organizing the processing of data and instructions. So whenever you are going to fetch some data or instruction into a computer, it should be organized. Means depending on the operations it is going to be processed, whether it is an input operations or whether it is a storing operations or whether it is a processing or whether it is a output. So these should be organized in order to processing a data. So this is done by the control unit. So that whenever you input some data, it must be stored where? In the primary memory, which is called as a RAM. So who is going to do it? It is done by this control unit. After it is stored in the RAM, it must be done some calculation or processing or execution should be done. So who is in charge of those? It is a control unit. Again after processing, it must be stored back to the secondary storage devices. It is done by the control unit, and later on it must be given to display the result on the screen. Who is handling that? It is all the control unit is responsible for organizing the process of data and instructions. Next is a register. As I told you, it's a small temporary storage area for holding data and instructions. So it is a temporary storage. The name itself forms temporary. That is, it's an instant storage. For example, if I want for just purpose of now to process the data, your data is stored in a storage called as register. Once it is processing is done, the data is lost from the register. So it is a temporary storage area which holds the data and the instructions. So next one is the note. What is a note? We'll see. It's a clock speed. What is a clock speed? A measure of a processor's operating speed currently measured in megahertz. That is, the CPU operating speed or the processing speed is said to be the clock speed, and this processor speed is always measured in megahertz or it is also in a gigahertz. Okay. Next, a CPU performance, its performance rate or performance is measured by the number of instruction executed per second. That is, per second, how many numbers of instruction it is going to be executed, a particular processor. So, it is its performance. It depends on the processor which you are going to be installed in your motherboard, and it might be in million instruction per second. Some processor does million instructions per second. Some CPU processes a billion instructions per second. It depends upon the processor that you are going to be installed in your motherboard, and rating on that the performance is measured. But this performance is nothing but how many, that is a number of instruction, how many instructions is going to be executed per second. Okay, it is called as CPU performance, whereas the speed is always measured in megahertz or gigahertz. That is a clock speed or the operating speed. The processor operating speed is called as a clock speed, whereas this is called as a performance is measured by the number of instruction executed per second. Now, next one is, what is a microprocessor? Okay. What is a microprocessor? Micro is a small. Micro means, the word micro suggests it's a small processor. Okay, something that is doing some execution. Okay, it is an electronic component because it works with electricity. So that is why it's an electronic component. So it is a single integrated circuit. Another name for microprocessor is also called as IC, which is called as integrated circuit, because lot of circuits has been embedded in a particular processor or it has been integrated in a particular processor. So we call it as an IC chip. So microprocessor is nothing but it's an electronic components, and it is a single integrated circuit, or we call it as IC chip. So there are a lot of microprocessors available here like Pentium, Intel, Celeron. It has a different version also. So these are the best example for a microprocessor. So next one is BIOS. BIOS is a BIOS. The elaboration of this is a basic input output system. Okay. So what is the function of this particular BIOS? Let us see. So BIOS is a small chip on the motherboard that holds a set of instructions to load the hardware settings required, like keyboard, monitors or disk drives. Now what is this BIOS? It's one chip which is there in the motherboard. It's also a small chip. What is the functions of a BIOS? It contains a lot of instructions in that. A BIOS chip is embedded with a set of instruction. Now what is the function or what is the work of those instruction which is there in the BIOS? It will load all the hardware settings. What do you mean by hardware settings? Whenever you switch on a particular computer system, the hardware parts or the components like mouse, keyboard, monitor, printer, speakers, disk drives, all these should be activated or it should be ready to work along with the system, right? So that is done by this particular chip which is called as BIOS. It's like your mobile. Whenever you switch on your mobile, all your components, it might be the mobile music, it might be the video in the mobile, it might be the messages in the mobiles. So there are a lot of applications which is there in the mobile. These applications should be activated whenever you switch on your particular mobile, right? In the same way, whenever you switch on the computer system, all hardware components which is related to that system or which is attached to that system should be ready or activated to work, right? So that is done by this particular chip which is called as BIOS. The BIOS runs when the computer is switched on. Yes, whenever I said whenever the computer is switched on, those hardware settings should be activated, right? So that is done by this small chip which is called as BIOS in the motherboard. So it will activate whenever the computer is switched on. During off, whenever the mobile is switched off or whenever the computer is switched off, no components or the hardware settings is activated. Whenever you switch it on only, all the components should be activated. It checks if the hardware devices are present and functioning properly. So whenever you switch on this BIOS, the first job of this particular chip, it checks whether all the hardware device attached to that particular computer system is functioning properly or not. Whether the RAM or whether the keyboard or whether the monitors, whether the disk drives, whether the printers or speaker, all this attached to one particular computer system, whenever you switch on that computer, it checks whether it is functioning properly or not. Suppose if it is not functioning, it gives a message on the screen that particular devices is not working. Next is BIOS include the bootstrap loader to load the operating system into the memory. So whenever you want to work with a computer system, there should be operating system installed into the memory. So this BIOS is one particular chip which is going to load that operating system into the memory. That process is said to be a bootstrap loader. I'll give an example. For example, a mobile. You have a different brands of mobile like Samsung, Vivo's, it might be Nokia, etc. There are a lot of brands. So whenever you switch on that particular mobile, that particular mobile's operating system is loaded. Like if it is Samsung, so whenever you switch on, you get that message on the screen of your mobile, Samsung. Or if it is a Vivo, you will get it is a Vivo, right? Similarly, you can take an example of TV electronic devices. Although whenever you switch on a TV, you will get that brand name which is there, whichever the TV name, that is a Samsung, it might be any TV name, it is displayed on the screen whenever you switch on a particular TV. Example, same thing, a computer also, whichever the operating system you are going to install to the computer system, like it might be a Windows, okay? It might be the Ubuntu operating system. There are a lot of operating system and different version is also available, right? Like Windows 7, Windows 10, etc. So whichever operating system you are going to load to the computer system, that whenever you switch on that particular system, it is going to be seen on the screen, first one. That process is called as a bootstrap loader, and this bootstrap loader, that processes is included in this BIOS chip. Okay. So BIOS include the bootstrap loader to load the operating system into the memory. So whichever operating system you installed in your computer system, it should be loaded into the memory to work, right? That is done by this particular BIOS chip, and that process is called as a bootstrap loader. Okay. So this is a BIOS chip which you can see inside the motherboard. This is one example or a picture which I have shown here. So on a BIOS chip, and this chip, what does it does? It, whenever the computer is switched on, it will check all the hardware devices are functioning properly or not, the first one is, and the second one is it will runs or it will load the operating system into the memory. So this is a job of a BIOS chip. Next, moving on to CMOS. What is the full form of CMOS? Complementary metal oxide semiconductor. This is complementary metal oxide semiconductor. Now let us see what is the job of this CMOS. So it is a type of memory chip. So it is also a memory chip to store date, time and system set of parameters. So you can see in this picture, this is a CMOS battery, okay, which you can see in a round circle shape, which is there inside the motherboard. So this is also one memory chip. What does it store? It stores a date, time and system setup. That is, whenever you are switching on the system, the operating system is loaded, and always in the system screen you can see at the bottom date, time is set up. Okay, so it is done automatically, and every data set, every day whichever you switch on the system, the date is appeared on that particular task bar which is there at the bottom of your screen. So this date, time is displayed and it is automatically set up by this particular CMOS battery. Similarly, whenever you switch on your mobile, you can see the date or time displayed on the screen automatically. You need not set up daily. You set up whenever the mobile operating system is installed, the date and time is set up. After that, it is automatically keeps on changing. Similarly, in the case of computer system also, this is a battery which does the task in order to store the date, time and system parameters. That is, whenever you switch on the system, the date, time is displayed on the task bar automatically. These parameters are loaded every time the computer is started. That is, every time the computer is started to work or switch on, the computer is done. So these parameters are loaded. BIOS and CMOS are kept powered by a small lithium ion battery located on the motherboard. So this is a battery, as I said, it's a lithium ion battery, and this battery keeps the CMOS as well as a BIOS activated or kept charged or powered. See, even though you charge in the mobile also, there is a battery, and this is a battery which works, which helps the mobile to work, right? If the battery is drained, what does it do? You charge it. Similar things, this is also a battery which keeps BIOS and CMOS working, okay, and it is powered, okay. So next one is, what is the slots? Slot means what? So this is a picture which I have shown here. These are all called white colors or black colors. We call it as a slot. Slot and space. Space it is. To insert something, you have a space. Even in the switchboard, if you want to insert certain switch cable, you have a slot like 3 holes in the switchboard which is given extra to insert any charger or to insert any TV, like that. You have these holes or a small 3 holes in the switchboard, and these are the holes which is used for the additional wires to be cabled, okay. Similarly here, slot means what? A slot is an opening space. It's an opening space. So these are all open in order to install certain additional components, right? So it's an opening space in a computer where we can insert a printed circuit board. So it is an space, opening space. In this you can insert RAM, memories, okay, like slots you can insert them RAM memories, sound cards, video cards, internet card, all these are the printed card, right? So these printed circuit board is used to insert in such of these slots, okay. So adike slots anta hedu. So slots are often called expansion slots. You can expand, you can have any number of slots here, okay. So it is also called as expansion slots. So same thing in the cable wire also socket. If you want some additional plug to be inserted, you can have these expansion cords, right, which is used. Similar thing, there is also an expansion slots in the motherboard where you can insert a certain printed circuit boards like RAM, as I said, video card, sound card, etc. There are several types of slots available, okay, because each slot has its own functions. Let us see one by one what is it. See here, first one is ISA. You can see in this particular picture of the motherboard, these slots, these are all slots. We call these are all slots, but each slot has its own name, specification is there, okay. So these slots, you can see it as ISA slots. It is called ISA. What do you mean by ISA? Elaboration is Industry Standard Architecture. So it is called Industry Standard Architecture. So what is the purpose of these slots? It is used to connect a modem, that is telephones, and input devices. It might be mouse, it might be keyboard. So they are used to for connecting of those devices. Understood? One is modem. Modem is nothing but if you want to speak over phone through a computer system, it is done that a modem device should be installed, okay. So it is used to connect a modem and any input devices. So this is a slot you can see in the picture. Next one is PCI. So these are three slots, white color which is there in the motherboard, that picture, it is, these slots are called as PCI slots. What is this PCI means? Peripheral means external, peripheral component interconnect. Peripheral means something from outside if you want to be connected. Component interconnect. PCI slots are used to connect graphics accelerators, cards, sound card, internal modems. As you know, this PCI is one additional component interconnect, that is every normal system or a computer system, it does not require all this functionality. Only certain specific purpose only we are going to install all these circuit boards to these particular slots. So this is a slot which is used to connect graphics accelerator cards. So you can see this is one, like you have one card like SIM card, you must have seen the SIM card, RAM cards. So same thing, you get one graphics accelerator card. The name itself says graphics, means pictures. If you want to see some animations, movies and all, okay. So animations courses or movies, if you want to see, you should have this graphics cards installed in this particular components, okay. Sound cards, if you want to listen to that particular movie or animations, there should be some sound, right. So for that you should have this sound card and some internal modems where you need to call through a telephone, call through a computer system, making call through computer system, you should have this modem. So a normal computer system, you can have these provisions, but we do not install the printed circuit board to this, because this is needed only certain specific areas like, okay, graphics, like if you want to do certain animation courses or if you want to see some movies, for that clarities movies, for that we can have this particular cards. A sound also, if you want a specific huge sounds like in a theater sound, and also you can have this sound cards, some modems, telephones if you want to do through the PCs, okay. They are much faster than ISA cards. So when you compare these PCI cards like graphics cards, sound cards, when you compare with the ISA cards, they are much faster, okay. So you can see in these pictures, these are all RAM, okay, these are all RAM, where you can RAM slots, that is where you can install RAM in this. Here this is the CPU, that is a processor chip. These are all cache memories, later you have to study, these are all the cache memories here. This is the battery which I have called, that is CMOS batteries here. These are keyboard connectors where you can do, and these are all the expansions of board which is used to install in this, okay. So like this, in the slots you are going to insert these ports. AGP slots. So you can see this is one slot which is called as AGP. So this brown color in the picture is called as AGP slot. Now let us see what is this AGP. AGP means accelerated graphics port. Okay, accelerated graphic port. What does it slot to? Is an advanced port designed for video cards and 3D accelerator. So this is something advanced port. As I said, this is also installed in a specific computers only. Like if you want some 3D animations or 3D movies to be seen, in those system there should be some video. If you want such video cards to be installed, you should be installed in this AGP slots. Okay. So if you want to watch movies like 3D movies or 3D animations, so that video card should be installed where? In a AGP slot or accelerated graphics port. Okay. So in the picture you can see this is the thing. Okay. Next is a RAM slot. What is a RAM? A RAM slot is used to install memory to store programs and data currently being used by CPU. So there is a RAM slot. These are all RAM, random access memory slots, where you can insert the RAM in this. A RAMs, like you will get like this only one slots where you can install in this particular RAM chip is installed in this particular slot. Okay. So it is used to install memory. Since RAM is a memory, it's used to install memory to store programs and data. So why this RAM memory is needed? In order to store the programs, instructions or data currently used by the CPU. That is, whatever the CPU is going to process the data, those data are stored where? In the RAM, because it is a temporary memory. Random access memory is a temporary memory. So whatever the CPU currently going to execute the data or the instruction, that is stored in the RAM. You know that. First year you studied, that is stored where? In the RAM. But whenever the power goes, the data in the RAM is lost. Okay. So RAM is measured in the units called bytes. So RAM, its unit of RAM, we say it is so many bytes of RAM is available. Two types of RAM slots are there. SIMM, single inline memory module, and DIMM is dual inline memory module. Okay. So I'll wind up the class now, students. Thank you.